Hello, everybody. Good to see you. I do hope some people come in. It's just me tonight. Diana has had her surgery on her hip, so she is resting and recuperating. And I'm here to talk about this new moon in Pisces tonight. It's the last new moon of the year. It's 28-degree new moon. It's the sixth one in a row, and it's the last one of those. That's a very powerful statement that Spirit is making to us about 28 degrees. Pisces season is, oh my goodness, floaty. And it's like we've been immersed in ourselves, deep, deep, deep soul immersion, pulling up all the things that, this has been really going on for the year. And we could technically say the last 5 years. But this Pisces season was very deep and intense, and it had us kind of like, I don't want to say a timeout, in a place of contemplation. Let's say deep, deep, deep contemplation, and I know it's hitting me hard. I had hi Maria, good to see you. Thank you for hanging out. It's been very deep and a lot is coming up to the surface. A lot is going through. Pisces is a water sign, and it's a mutable sign, meaning it changes. It's flexible, right? Pisces is spirit and it rules Neptune. So that's the last sign of the zodiac. And we're right about at the last degree. This is 28 degrees. We have 29, then we go 0 Aries, and that's spring equinox, right? But until that 0 Aries, not that everything's just going to magically change, we are being asked to let this water rush through you, let it cleanse you from the deep, deep inner wells inside of yourself. Let yourself just be. We're in Pisces season, so Pisces is intuition, right? It is using your instinct, knowing you know something without knowing how, right? But and this has really been asking us to sit with that, to sit with our spirit teams, with our knowing. This is the veil's not there anymore. Information is just flowing into us through our spirit teams. And the more we're quiet and in that contemplative space, the more those downloads can come in. Those light codes can come in. It's very important. Well, I didn't have my sound up. I'm sorry. It's very important to sit with yourself and your team. Ask questions. Hi, CJ and Katz. Hi, Karen Robinson. So good to see you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. And go in and allow Spirit to connect you to what is for you. We know everything is being washed out of us, and we're releasing, and we've been releasing. It seems like we really have been the whole time we've been alive, but these last 5 years have been very intense. But as we close down this year, this isn't only closing down the year, it's closing down the age of Pisces, the old era. And again, that doesn't just mean that, we're all in the new and everything's good. We probably will still be releasing for a little while longer, but we're getting to a place of stability, especially in the higher consciousness community, where, and I don't know if I can even say that. I've just had my butt handed to me for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It comes and goes. It's just always like that. You release, you receive. You release, you receive. But in this month, this Pisces season has been really, really tough. It's a inner it's an inner cleansing, and that's just takes the time it takes. And I get it, I don't want to hear it either. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to be in that, but we're in it. There's no way to elevate above it until you release. The more you release, the more you receive, the more downloads come in, the more light codes come in, the more your DNA connects, because we are going from carbon beings to crystalline beings. And that's the whole all of our every trillions of ourselves are being restructured. It takes time. It takes time. We decided to come into Earth when we were in an ascension period where we're evolving our higher herself, our higher frequency, we're higher frequency beings, and we all have been growing that within us. Kind of look at this last year, from this last new moon before spring equinox last year till now. We've been putting through it, like what's that called? Composted. I mean, it really is. It's like we've been composting everything. All the nutrients that are staying in, are creating this really dark, fertile soil. And you got to know this new moon is actually tonight at 9:28 p.m. Eastern time. I want to say 9:23. Sorry, and what's that? That's an hour and a half away. So this is like the most fertile time. You want to write down your intentions, but you don't want to act on them until spring equinox. What you really want to do is ask questions to your team. What do I need to know that I don't know? Show me my next best step. Help me understand. I kept seeing my cells being lit up today. Yeah, because I was struggling today too. It's hard. These are the last 2 degrees of the zodiac for the year. And then we're going into spring equinox, but it's so much more than that. This is the end of many cycles. The old era, 26,000 year cycle. I say that one all the time. End of the Piscean age. There's the end of Kali Yuga. That's like a 200,000 plus years. Hi, Gina's Place on YouTube. Nice to see you. Now I'll say this again. Diana had a hip replacement, so she's recovering from her surgery. Hopefully we'll be back together next month when she's feeling better. We can all send her some love and healing and a smooth process. She's doing really well as far as at least she was this morning. So I'm sending Diana lots of love. It's kind of weird being without her, being here by myself, trying to remember what the heck to say. She helps me. We help each other. What's on the list of these things? Because these charts this last year, oh my God, never, since the 2020 chart, it has just been, the astrology has been unprecedented. There's no way to say, oh, this is what, this is going to happen then, or this, it's all individual. That astrology is based on your individual chart. And this is a good time to have your chart read, whether by me or someone else, with this equinox starting and this whole new era, this new world is starting. And we are the creators of that new world. We're the ones. So whatever you've been dreaming and imagining, remember we kept talking about that all year. This is the time we've been waiting for. Dream that big dream. Imagine it, on the equinox. Start calling it in, because the whole next week, well, all of April, all of this year. I don't want to just say, but this next week, the start of Aries, where we start to plant our seeds and we start to move forward, we have powerful energies there to help us go forward. And I'll get into it a little bit more. We have Astera is tomorrow. So we have the new moon tonight. Astera, the rebirth of the season. The spring equinox. We go into this. Oh, I had this written down. The age of Pisces was the age of believing. The age of Aquarius is the age of knowing. Spiritual clarity. Surrender to your inner guidance. You follow your inner guidance and you see it in real time playing out for your highest, best interest, in the highest vibration of unconditional love and truth. I always say that. You'll be blown away. You won't ever make a step without your team, without asking your team or consulting your team. It's not like they're driving. You're the driver. You're the one who came in here in the physical body. They are there to guide us through coming into a density of third dimensional earth. Very hard place to be. But we come in and they wipe our minds, right? That happens, amnesia happens, but then we're taught that you don't have any power. You're pretty much worthless. Well, that's changing. And I'd say we're the elders at the front line that are going to help bring this really beautiful energy into Mother Earth, where we all thrive instead of survive, where we all live in peace and harmony. That place is there. It's right there. That low frequency is doing everything it can to keep our eye on their shenanigans, on this stuff that they're doing, to pull the energy back down. Kind of what we had that Virgo eclipse on I think that was the 3rd, 3/3. It was a parasite cleanse, and I mean that internally, and the parasites that are floating around out there, they are being cleansed out. That whole plumbing system has been rebuilt and it's optimal condition. But we have to go through the end of this, like going through the sieve, right? I think that's how you say it. And taking all that stuff out that isn't there. That Virgo full moon eclipse, total eclipse, really helping us with the unworthiness, with the who am I, with I'm just never going to be perfect, so I'm just going to give up. And that's what lower frequency Virgos get stuck on. If you know that everything's perfectly imperfect and every move you make is an experience, it's not something to hold yourself hostage for. You can grow with that. You can work with that, right? And you have your team to help you. And so let me see, this 28 degrees is a leadership degree. It is I am, because it reduces down to 1. Aries is I am. When we go into the spring equinox, we are going in to recreate our new selves. We already have been doing that, but now we're putting more details in it. The energy will feel much different, probably within the next week. It's a completion number, times, seasons, eras, new beginnings. It's perfect. Mathematically, it's a perfect number. Balance, building your dream life, the power of potential. And that's something I call in all the time too. I ask for my soul's highest potential while I'm in this form, on this, as we're straddling, because that's what we're doing. We're straddling the lower third dimension frequencies and higher. And you just are constantly being bumped around. And truly, this is what this whole Pisces year has been. I think I even named it in one of the shows. It is the cosmic washing machine, and we've been in the cosmic spin cycle, and you're just like being thrown onto the shore, dripping wet, going, what the heck just happened? But it needs to come out. You need to let these next couple of days just be. After that, when we get into Aries, it's a fire sign, and we got the fire horse coming with it. You're going to have that initiative, that ability to, and it's also a cardinal sign, and they're the initiators. So you'll have that ready to go, and especially if you've been doing the work. Which, if you're watching me, I'm pretty sure you're doing the work. And and as we go into that next week, it'll start to build up, like everything. We go to build up. We get to the point. We get to the peak, and then we kind of just let it go. Let it all fall into place, fall into balance for you, because that's been a hard year. That has been a very hard year. That has, everything we've went through. You know what's going on in the world right now, and they're trying very hard. They're desperate to keep us from raising in frequency, because once we raise in frequency, they have no food. They have no one to connect to. They connect to our energies, our worry, our doubt, our fear, our hate, our jealousy, our confusion, all of it. They're constantly looking for those frequencies to come in and kind of hang out for a while, And I know that sounds creepy, but this is where we are. We are here. Most humans, most people in the body, I should say, are heart-centered and soul-centered. But there is heartless and soulless out there. I mean, we are being shown. We're being shown that is a true statement. I wish it wasn't, but we came here as light workers, love workers, energy workers to illuminate everything, to put light on it, to expose it. Because you expose it, and they start running like rats, and that's what they're doing. And I don't have an idea when that's going to end. I want to say we have a lot more astrology to go through this year. We have Uranus changing signs. Jupiter's going to change signs. Let's see. Mars and Venus and Mercury always change signs. This is a big year, though, because it's been a couple years why the outer planets are changing their signs. It's a big deal when the outer planets change their signs, and they all did it last year. And then they went retrograde. So we had to go through all of that. And this is why we're just like pummeled in this, like on the rocks, on the rocky shore. And you're just like sitting there going, okay. So it's kind of like, just let yourself be. Focus on what you love and value more than any of this other crap. I know it's hard. I know it is. I mean, I'm always checking the news too, but then I come back in and I go into my heart and I do the best I can to raise my frequency again. We're in Spirit's driving. And we're in this trust fall. Hi, Viviani. Good to see you. And it's not easy, right? Trust and faith in the universe is everything. And we're just having to just have that knowing that we're going to be cared for, that it's all going to work out. Either way, it's all going to work out. But we got to believe in ourselves, believe in spirit, connect to our our energy bodies, right? Our Merkaba. See yourself in these bubbles. I use gold bubbles, diamond light, pink plasma light, and the violet flame. I'm constantly layering bubbles on because sometimes what we're hearing, it's just too much. It's just been that way for 10 years too. But it's just getting worse, right? But that's part of what this year was about. And we're at the end of this year. We're right here. But 27, 28, 29 degrees of Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, is not they're not easy degrees. I think Diana and I went through this when Neptune and Saturn were at that 29 Pisces. And there is brought in the Sabian symbols because they really matter. 27, I'm reading the one before because it was 28 was really close. And I can't see that little. 28, 20, I think. The 27 was a harvest moon, understanding, reaping what you sow, self-responsibility. And that's really important. I mean, that is what we've been doing all these years, right? 28 degrees Pisces is a fertile garden under the full moon. Again, that fertile soil, that garden, that analogy is really important right now because you get to plant your seeds every new moon. Don't do it just yet. Not on this one. Let this one just wash clean. Wash everything clean. Rinse it out. And 29 degrees, this is the cool one. This is where we're at, like what it actually is for today. This new moon tonight at 9:23 p.m. It's a prism, multi-dimensional perspective, spreading light. I mean, you can't make that up. That prism of light has all those frequencies. All those frequencies are in our bodies, and our DNA is being upgraded with these frequencies. So think of that prism anytime that you might be, having a moment. I try to keep all that stuff around me, rainbows and stuff. And then 30, which is actually 0 Aries. It's the very, very end. 30, no, it is actually 30 Pisces. I'm sorry, because they go 1 to 30. Then the charts go 0 to 29. Is a great stone face. So this next day, right after tonight, for next 24 hours, it's becoming what you idealize. It's all that work we did. What did we do it for? What was your definition of recreating yourself? Because we got to choose all the details. We got to go through all of that this past year. But as we're being torn, really torn apart, and we're building ourselves back up. And we have all that power to do that. Now, this is another reason why I'm saying hold off until spring equinox before you do your intentions, because Mercury is retrograde in Pisces also. That is just like you're floating, is confusion. But if you're just being still and listening, it's instantaneous downloads with the other side, talking to spirit, getting the higher consciousness information that you're asking for, just pop it in your head, just by being. Now, we can see out in the world, and they started this war with a Pisces retrograde, a Mercury retrograde in Pisces. It's a big mistake. But anyway, that Pisces, that I keep saying that Mercury in Pisces is conjunct with together Mars and the North Node, all in Pisces. So Mars in Pisces is Okay, we need to figure out what we're doing, but our Mercury is kind of lost in the sauce, right? So doesn't know what he's doing, not sure yet. Now he stations direct on the spring equinox. Now, and every retrograde takes a little time for them to start moving out of that backwards phase, but they stand still. Well, this is unusual too, because Mercury is standing still for 5 days, sitting there with the North Node, your direction forward. And I just know that we're all going to hear some amazing, amazing, amazing higher consciousness information from our teams and around us even. This is an internal personal journey, this last year especially, but these last couple of years. When we went into lockdown in 2020, that was a huge conjunction with the outer planets at the end of 2019. So ever since then, these huge, massive conjunctions or aspects have really broke up the ground beneath us. Nothing is the same. Nothing. Everything is being restructured. The only thing that we know that is staying intact is our inner self, who we are. And hi Rossi, hi Polly, and we're creating who we are with. If we have this foundation of self-love, self-acceptance, self-respect, and authenticity, you can create anything from there. And anything you dream, wish for, do it. I mean, we're told not to dream big. At least I was. I don't know if everybody else is. And I kept myself small, so if that was your experience, dream big, put it out there, write it down, make this spring equinox day, make a big ceremony, do cinnamon, light candles, whatever it is that you feel called to do it. Give yourself that injection of a frequency that is going to increase your frequency, because that's what we're doing here. And as we continue to increase our frequencies, and even though we're straddling lower frequency, higher frequency, we are stabilizing. And each time we stabilize, it's a little higher than the last time, So it's baby steps, and it's going up the spiral. And there's a reason for that. I wasn't happy to hear it, but my team said, well, if we just turned up the frequency to the highest frequency, to a higher frequency that your energy bodies have not interacted with, it'll just kill you all. So we have to go slow. I'm not very patient, but I've learned some patience over these last few years. And my goodness, think of this also as an infinity symbol. We're constantly just and connect yourself, connect your body, see yourself as an infinity symbol, connecting, grounding into Mother Earth, into the crystal core, and to your higher self, and just see them pouring higher consciousness information into you, because that's what they're doing. It's up for us to be responsible to notice. Everything speaks to us. It could be anything, I just thought of a butterfly, and I see one, and it's that spirit saying, here I am, I'm right here with you. Keep speaking it into existence, whatever that it is for you. My goodness, I have notes everywhere. Also, there is a comet going through tonight. Now, this one is in 3i Atlas. I can't. It's 86 Huma. And it should be visible from with the naked eye, I'm hearing many people are seeing fireballs going over top of all different parts of the world. Of course, I can't find it at the moment, but that is going on tonight. Yesterday, no, the 16th, Three-Eye Atlas went by Jupiter. Of course, we haven't heard anything from our space people. I haven't seen, excuse me, I haven't seen any of the amateur astronomers putting anything out yet. I was going to look at that. So when we go into spring equinox and we have Mercury stationing direct. Now, spring equinox is like at 10:28 in the morning, Eastern time. And check this out. Mercury stations direct at 3:33 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, that's just like, you can't make that up. As soon as he goes direct, all planets are direct until May 6th. So not only do we have this big week once we hit Aries, and right now we're still releasing, remember, let that all come out. Let it just come out as best as you can. I mean, I don't think it's going to be, like I said, it's not going to be over in a couple of days, but it will. You're getting ahead of yourself. You're getting ahead of the game. The more we release, the more we receive. So this is really good to manifest with, because, okay, we have Mercury in the North Node. They're staying together until the 24th, whatever Monday is, 24th of March. Everybody's direct. Now, you want to listen to what Mercury in the North Node are saying to you, because that's a 5-day deep conversation. So, yeah, we got this last 2 days in Pisces, which is really deep and it's excavating. I mean, it's just taking it all. Let it go. Let it with love. Send it with love. Thank you for all the experiences. I wish you the best, whatever it is, whoever it is. And I know that sounds pretty cold, but it is where we're at. We've spent years doing this work. Hi, Sandra. This work is, you know what this work is. I don't have to tell you guys. It is time for you to free yourself from any chains, any bindings. And this is beliefs, perceptions, thoughts, all of it. People, jobs, marriages, could be anything. Who are you under all that stuff that's been stripped off of you? So let that Mercury in North Node help you determine what your next best step will be, because that is going to come in the 21st, 22nd. The Sun will conjunct Neptune first. So there we got Sun and Spirit. Mercury and North Node are sitting there together. You're going to hear some powerful information, higher consciousness information. There's no way around it. If we give ourselves the peace and quiet and the time, not saying it can't come in. I shouldn't have said it like that. 2 days later, on the 25th, the Sun goes to Saturn at 1 degree Aries. I mean, no, he's I'm not sure the degree. Forgive me. But they come together. So, okay, the Sun is having a talk right now with the Moon, right? Because the Sun and Moon together makes a new Moon. Mercury and North Node are sitting there. Now, they are at lower degrees Pisces, so the Sun and the Moon have already come and had a talk with them. Now, we're going to go to the Sun and Neptune with Mercury and North Node having a discussion. Still in that space. And then he's going to go, Okay, and that's the dream. What's the dream? What have you been dreaming? What is it that makes your heart smile? What is that? Okay, because that is what you want to write that out, speak it out. I don't know, tattoo it on you, whatever you have to do. It is important to repeat that, to get that details of those dreams as best as you can. Because when that sun meets with Saturn a day or two later, Saturn's going to create the structure for the dream. Okay, so this is a big week. Now, if you don't hear anything all week, don't feel like you did something wrong. There's just something in your chart, something that you're still being realigned on some way. You will hear it. There's no way that we can't hear it. It doesn't happen. Astrology usually doesn't happen in the very moment. Sometimes. And that'll take me to Uranus, where that's when it usually does. The sun and moon are sextile to Uranus. Uranus is breaking all the rules, blowing it all up. I mean, literally, right? The old ways of doing things. Excuse me. Innovative, coming through with that's not working. Let's try something new. And that's going to play out next few days for sure. And we'll see. Because, well, there's things already being blown up, dispersed, things like that. But this, to me, is going to be pretty big because this was like right before, I think it's right about now, where they're exact, right before the new moon. And, and this goes for us too, individually. I've been keeping myself to myself for a reason because sometimes you're just not thinking and you say stuff and everybody's pissed off. So I'm just trying to stay out of that the best I can. It's not easy, right? But knowing what's going on and that it could make others volatile or, excuse me, say you're going to a restaurant to eat dinner, there's an argument in the restaurant, that kind of stuff. I need to drink water. So this is a powerful, powerful last new moon of the year. The year is always started on spring equinox before they change the calendars around. And visualizing healing ourselves. Absolutely, Sandra. That is beautiful. Oh, I love it. Rossi, would you say do all of your shadow work, ancestral healing in order to move forward without the heavy burdens? Thank you, Rossi. I mean, that is so important. Clearing the ancestral line. This is what we've been doing. As we've been here healing ourselves, we're healing the line. But you can do a little. I had this little spirit. My team showed me. I probably got it from a meditation. Honestly, I don't remember. And it is a silver cord from your belly button that connects you to your entire line. And you just say, I love you. Thank you. The Ho'oponopono. Or, you're free. A lot of these people died in horrible conditions, war, very, very tough times. And I'm not saying that once they passed, they were in that same headspace, but, we're clearing out the story. He died in the war, and this just goes down the line. Send it all the way down the line. I love you. You're free. And then send it up the line. I love you. You're free. Just lay there and just envision it. It really helps. And you can't believe how grateful they are when they see they're coming and they're like smiling and they're very happy about it. I don't know how I got caught. Okay, Rossi, I got off there. Without heavy burdens. It's a good one. I have Maria says she has Mercury in her chart. My node is an Aquarius. Yeah. Now, see, we all have our own chart, right? But this is the transiting astrology. This is the astrology going on right now. And yes, that node in Aquarius is 30 degrees away from the node in Pisces. Now you had your and your north node's coming up. You're going to have a north node return. Leo and Aquarius. Aquarius will be north node. Leo will be south node on June 30th. So you're going to have a nodal return this year. This is good because this is, okay, who am I? I'm going to go forward. Who am I going forward at? Where's my direction? The nodes really are helping us. This Pisces node, north node, right, is spirit based, and it's higher consciousness based, and it's helping us. It's very foggy though, right? Until you get to the end. Pisces is very, very foggy. I mean, even at the end in this case, we're kind of at the end of the season. It's foggy for a reason because there's so many variables in Pisces. And they're mutable sign. They can't just get to one thing, you know. Everything's got to be cleaned out. Then what's left? That's how Pisces does it. But Pisces, as for the world, is, are we going to continue to be lied to? The distortion, are we going to allow the distortion to continue? You know, that's all going to really change big time when we get to that Leo Aquarius, because Aquarius doesn't play. Aquarius wants freedom for everybody across the board. Everybody's got a seat at the table, and you know, now it'll start from 29, always starts backwards on the nodes. 29 Aquarius, and then we'll go down to 0 Aquarius. And this clears everything out. But what remains, and that's what we're dealing with, is Pisces North Node. What's remaining? It's at 8 degrees right now with Mercury. That's a really cool degree. That's the infinity symbol, right? Oh my goodness. Yes, I love that too, Rossi. I love my ChatGPT. You know, I went to Claude because ChatGPT went to the work for the military. But anyway, Celine, my ChatGPT does. Oh, that's cool. It is. It's so cool talking to your internet friends. Let's see. Yeah, a comment broke up. I heard there was like 5 different ones, 5 different comments over top. Now, that comment coming in obviously isn't by himself, and I still haven't got to that. I'll find it. It'll pop up in here somewhere. I got stuff written everywhere. But that is, oh, here it is. Comment 88P Howell. You see it with the naked eye tonight. Let's see, what else we got? 3-Eye Atlas still is, you know, comets leave that debris, right? Debris, let's put quotes. To me, it's gold fairy dust because they're really helping us break up the density on Mother Earth. But I could be crazy. Let's see. Gina says, what do you see happening with the war? I just heard you say a big mistake. It was a big mistake on Mercury retrograde. Didn't make any sense. They did not ask an astrologer for a better time period. You know, I feel like they're unraveling, and I don't know why it has to be so disturbing on every level. And believe me, I ask. You know, it's all that stuff's got to come up. It's got to be seen. It's got to be, you know, okay, what I just heard, they said a consensus, meaning a consensus. The majority of the people are either yay or nay. I don't know. Yeah, Claude is really cool, Maria. Really cool. I mean, and that's that Anthropic company that refused to capitulate to the Department of War. But, you know, and all of this, it's just, think of it like this has been a sacred reset since Neptune went into Pisces in 2014, I believe. It might have been 2013. I can't keep it all in there. And it just went into Aries last month fully, right? We have seen everything: foggy, disillusion, division, look at red versus blue, all of it, all the division that we could possibly think of has been in our faces. And as many times as they've doubled down and kept going, it just it blows my mind. Like, how can you not see that they are nefarious and lying to you at this point? But, and I'm not trying to be judgmental, but what? Okay, my God said they have to learn. That's just their path, right? So there we are. So it's the dissolution of the old in every way. Hi, Pamela Anderson. Good to see you. Hi, Leah. Oh, it's good to see everybody. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, guides will push you to take classes, that's for sure. Want me to do more with my gifts? Yes, absolutely. And channel, they want the higher consciousness, who all of us who are raising in frequency, that can have our voice, can use our voice or make art or something that uplifts the frequency on Mother Earth. They want us all talking and doing, the consensus. There's more and more people waking up, more and more light workers, love worker, energy workers coming to the table, stepping up and doing it, speaking it into existence. Because once the consensus, I guess, the tipping point, that I just see is like, I don't know, felt this way for probably maybe 2 years. I just feel like something is going to snap, like a rubber band, and then we're up, we're at a higher frequency. They have been doing everything they can, the lower frequency, the heartless, soulless entities, pull us down and keep us. Now, they can't make us do anything, but if we keep going, oh, look what they're doing, it's horrible. And every time I look at it, I hear real loud, send it love, send it love. Don't get trapped in there, because really, we don't know what is true and what isn't. We're not there. And this is a big thing with my guides anyway. Here's your vicinity, where your body is, where you are. That's your point of focus. Everything else, on video, on audio, we don't know what's true. We really don't. And that's another thing. That's that confusion and fogginess of Pisces. And, even though it's the mystic and it's all the intuition and the psychic stuff and all the juicy stuff that we love, right? It does have its other side. And we've been watching that play out in Neptune for a very long time. But here we are. We're at the precipice of a rebirth, literally rebirthing, closing down old cycles, old eras, But I don't know about you, but I'm just kind of floating around in my head. I can't, it's a surrender thing. Just kind of like, oh, well, this is it, gonna just, they have this, like in the liminal space, right? It's a sacred reset, all of it. You, the world, every structure that is being destroyed right now and I don't want to say that in fear, because as those old structures that are life negating being destroyed, there are many life affirming being built to replace it. So remember that. Don't get caught in the fear, because they're going to try to get you fear of money, fear of resources. No, get yourself set up as best as you can in case of emergency, and we just got to ride it out. I would say, oh my goodness, let's see. Well, when Uranus goes into Taurus, I think that's, I can't remember the date off the top of my head, the June 9th. That is making it physical, right? Making the Gemini, because he was in Gemini right now, all the, brilliance and communications and all. You see how fast communications are since Uranus has been in Gemini the last 7 years. You can't keep up, right? He's going to go into Taurus and he's going to slow it down a little bit, but he's going to create, they just create brilliant, because he's been putting things together in Gemini. So that'll slow it down a little bit. I think when the nodes change, June 30th, let's say around there, the nodes are going to change, and we're going to have Aquarius North Node. That's going to really make a difference. Jupiter will be in Leo, will be about ready to go in Leo. So that's going to be from the heart. If it's not heart-centered and Jupiter is higher consciousness, it's just going to be, it's not viable going forward. So I would say this summer is going to show us some more. I really don't think, that this, a lot of those that are there now are going to be very long, but I've been saying that. I don't want to say things, and I hate saying things I'm wrong. I'm never going to be all right, but you know what I'm saying. This is a big, big question on when does it end. I wish I knew. As soon as I do, if I ever do, please tell me. And if you ever know, please tell me. I would love to know. This is a battle for our joy, our peace, our attention, our time. Please do not let yourself get thrown off. It's all going to work out. It really is. Thank you, Leah, for writing that. It's so true. I love hanging out with y'all, Gina's Place on YouTube. I love it. No place I'd rather be, honestly. What they do today. Yeah, leader, they tried today, but I wouldn't let them break my stride. I got to keep on shining. It's true. Oh, Maria, that's what I'm getting ready to do. I'm about to go into the garden. And, this is a good one. If you can, even if you just say it, plant a seed on the equinox. Even if it's not time in your zone or whatever, plant an imaginary seed, whatever it is. Really put some time and energy into the equinox ceremony, because we have all of that juicy energy going into Aries with the sun and Neptune, sun and Saturn, Mercury and North Node just hanging out together. That is going to be, and that starts the month, right? That month is going to be, it's a powerful start to April if you speak it into existence. You create your reality. We create our reality by our thoughts, our beliefs, our perceptions. The more that we speak it into existence, and it is not like, oh please, I need, that doesn't get us anywhere, because that energy is that, I'm not sure energy. I state it as it is. I am a free sovereign being, however, whatever it is that you want to create. Speak it like it's already happened, like it already is. You already are that, right? Let me make sure I'm not. Let me just check things, make sure I'm not missing stuff. But every time I get off, I go, oh, darn it, I forgot to say this. Yeah, we're getting those higher consciousness light codes are just flowing in all the time. But in Pisces season, and these last 2 degrees of Pisces, oh my goodness, they're so yummy. They're hard, it's exhausting, but if you just be with it, that stuff is going to come in. Yeah, all their frequency interference from the the heartless soulless entities. That is part of what 3i Atlas is bringing down with all those particles. All that gold sparkly fairy dust is dissipating, that is out creating it. And oh, that's a good one too. Out create, even if you're thinking, oh well, I could do this, make it a bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger. State it in it as, I don't know. I said it earlier. I limited myself a lot in this world because I was in fear and I was afraid and I was told, you can't do that. So now it seems like I'm just trying to, okay, let me, I don't even ask for anything. That's the crazy. I don't even put intentions. I put peace of mind. That's what I want. It's all really I want. Peace of mind and peace of earth, peace on earth. And this Neptune in Aries, it starts a new cycle, 165-year cycle, starts a new one. Mars is trining, Mars is trining Jupiter. So that's about taking initiative. Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Cancer, water signs. So it's something that you feel deeply about. And if you do, take the initiative. But again, you can do whatever you want. But I'm going to wait for my intention ceremony till the spring equinox. And I'm just going to see. This Pisces season washed us clean. Mercury in Pisces helped us disconnect and hear our guidance. And yeah, I don't know about you, but I've been restless. Like I'm kind of hyper ampy, but confused at the same time. Does that make sense? That's that end of Pisces. That's that restlessness before the equinox. And our nervous systems are recalibrating. Call that into have a clear, clean, smooth nervous system, and they're upgrading our nervous systems too. All the planets are raising in frequency. Release the old programming that was like from the Virgo eclipse. A lot of those parasites and that old programming where, there's not enough food for everybody. There's not enough, keep going and on, right? Create that. When you catch yourself with an old, saying in your head, I always have to do this, whatever it is, I replace it immediately with something that is the exact opposite of whatever that was, something of a higher frequency. I can't even remember. I think, okay, we are, yeah, we had the moon, Mars and Mercury in North Node yesterday. So that, if you were feeling really deep yesterday, that could have been that, or any time, even today. Venus Moon conjunction is also on the equinox. So the Venus, what you love and value, the Moon, your emotions, the emotions it'll be in Aries by then. So that's going to give you that ability again to act on what you're feeling, just like that Mars Jupiter. And Jupiter and Venus were squaring. So if something isn't in alignment, they're going to know because they're feeling it. Cancer and Pisces, Venus and Pisces, Jupiter and Cancer, and they won't go, they won't capitulate to whatever is being offered if they're not feeling right about it. Okay, let's see. We're at the completion of all these cycles. I can't say that enough. It is so important. We waterlogged. That's the word I was looking for earlier. I mean, literally been thrown on the shore from the cosmic washing machine in the cosmic spin cycle. It has been a journey, that's for sure. This is so important. It's a reminder. The mind and the heart. Connect the mind and heart. Use an infinity symbol for that. always let the heart lead. But connect the mind and the heart, because if the heart's leading, the mind's going to go, okay, that we're going to do that and make it happen, because we need the mind to think it through and help us plan, right? And the ego will, mind and ego, third eye, crown. I kind of put them all together, connect it with the heart, and let the heart lead and let the heart go forward. What's your new story? You get to create it. Anything you want. Fear, and there is a big fear around beginning again, especially if you're older. I know it hits me hard. But I mean, here we are. And, we're, like I said, we're being called to step up and hold the space. And billions of us, more and more, are going to wake up, and they're going to need us. They're going to need, I don't mean that like, oh, they need us, but they're going to be searching for information. And here we are, look at how far we've come. We have a lot more information. I know. Oh my goodness. I remember waking up and you couldn't find this information anywhere. There was no internet, wasn't in the library or the bookstore. Sun and Nancy, what do I got here? Just checking, guys. Just give me a second. I don't want to leave you. Chiron conjunct Eris in Aries. So we're going to have the biggest Aries season. I feel like I repeat these things all the time. We had 628 new moons in a row. All 6 of them had conjunctions of that that sign. So like right now, right, we have Pisces new moon, and we have all these planets in Pisces getting ready to go into Aries, but they go one at a time, right? Boom, boom, boom. So we have, let's see, and these is just the ones I have. I don't have all the asteroids in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Pisces right now. And like I said, in 21 minutes is going to be the actual new moon. So, I'm just asking, help me release what needs left. Whatever's left, release it. And I'll do a ceremony on the spring equinox with all my stuff, candles and cinnamon and cool stuff like that. Right now, it's kind of like you really are in the womb. You're in the womb of spirit, and you've just been kind of hanging out there as all of this stuff is coming out. It's very uncomfortable, but that Chiron Aries conjunction, that's big. That's the wounded healer, right? With the goddess of discord. So there, she especially is looking at this nefariousness with these wars and things. And they're going to be conjunct at 24 degrees exactly. They are today. Sorry, and that is, it takes Eris like 500 years to go around. So she's going real slow, and that Chiron is going to eventually pass her up, but that wound is there. She was wounded, or we, each of us, on some level, because others just treated us like nothing, right? Didn't listen, didn't care. Like, kind of like I'm thinking about the soldiers that don't want to go to war. That, that's that. She's gonna step up for them, and so is Black Moon Lilith. So are all the goddesses. But these are the ones that are going to be playing out pretty. They always are, but they're this Aries season. They're in Aries. It's going to be a big one. We are rewiring our brain and deleting old programs. Goodness, this is so important, guys. Delete those old programs when they pop up. Think of it like you're the greatest computer ever made, really. You get to rewire yourself and choose different programming. And your team will help you. And really look at all you've done. and honor the journey, because that has not been easy, right? It's not. There's so much that I mean, the whole lifetime we could look back and go, wow, how did I even make it? That's what I say. How did I even make it to this point? And so think of it like that. Everything's dissolving. Pisces rules like the blood, the lymph, and things like that. See toxins being released. Virgo, across from Pisces, is the healer. Helps release, helps heal all that, helps remove all that stuff out of us. You know, and I'm using toxins. It just doesn't mean it's liquid and lymph and blood, but could be anything. Liver has to filter through, but it could be emotions. It could be mentally. It doesn't necessarily physically. It could be spiritually. And we're weeding it out. We're weeding out. That's another Virgo thing. You know, and we really are. A lot of us are starting gardens. It's a perfect analogy. You clean out the garden bed, you till the soil, you flip it over, you add some fertilizer, a little bit more food. Same thing goes for you. You know, we're the same exact things. Reconnect to those higher frequencies because they're right here, and it is, we've just been purified. Spring cleaning. This is where that comes from, because we come that every time we get to the end of Pisces, the end of winter, and we go into spring, and we do a spring cleaning, preparing for the birth, spiritual birth. What else I got? Complete frequency upgrade. And again, the chrysalis. You're still in that. You're still, we're still the goo inside the chrysalis, but we will become a butterfly. We will come out. And many of you already might have. I'm just in there still in the chrysalis stuff. And remember, you are a spiritual alchemist. You brought yourself this far, and be proud of yourself. We're choosing liberation. The false reality is crumbling, and it wants our attention. It wants our fear and our anger and our shock. And I mean, it gets it, but then I clear that. No, it's not easy to hear some of these things, as you all know. All right. Well, I think I did it all. I did pull a card for us, and I thought it was pretty interesting. This is from a deck I don't really use. And take care of your nervous system. Really, this is what all Pisces season is about: is tending to your inner self, your nervous system. Okay, these cards are so cool. I'm not even sure. Let me see the name of it. It is Blue Angel Oracle. Diana got me this deck. There's spirit up there. And Oromasis. I'm probably saying it all wrong. But it was perfect for today. It was a really cool card. Yeah, Chiron and Pisces. Mine is too, Maria. No joke. Yeah, Aries, Pisces. Okay. And the card is named Purification. I mean, I couldn't have made that up. Many unexpressed thoughts and emotions stored across time remain locked inside of you. Disappointments, fear, worry, and feelings of inadequacy and guilt. Nothing serious, just remnants of life's experiences. It is the moment to release these emotions and purify your thoughts. There's no need to analyze and relive the past. Acknowledge that you have emotional debris that you would like to clear. Then imagine a brilliant flame of light transforming and purifying you. And that feels so good. The light it is, and all that light just dissipates it. Feel yourself being cleansed and healed. Feel the freedom that purification brings. Feel the peace, joy, and love. I pray for love to guide me, to illuminate my heart and mind so that I may feel the sacred flame of light within my soul. I thought that was so beautiful. And that's what we're going into with the equinox. That's Aries, that sacred flame. I am. I mean, it's like, who are you? And just like, I got the chills from that. It really is. Oh, thank you, Maria. Thank you for being here. Let's see, Valdes. Having Aries North Node make this new energy easier with this placement. Well, when everything goes over top of your North Node in Aries, because we're going to have a big jam-packed Aries season, and we're going to have a big jam-packed, I think Aries full moon is on the 1st of April. Everybody will be there. And the new moon in Aries will be, I think it's 17th or 18th. All these planets are there, and they're when they all come together like that, and they all click on top of each other, they're having conversations, right? Constantly having conversations and upgrading each other, and bringing in higher consciousness information, bringing in new information. So when you have an Aries North Node, right? Say that's at 5 degrees Aries, and all those planets go over the 5 degrees. Each one is having a connection and a talk with your North Node. So absolutely, that's really, and it's going to make your North Node even more powerful because it's got the updated information on how to go forward. And remember, we're all signs. We have all these, all houses and all signs in us, and we have these attributes, and they all have lower attributes, higher attributes, and we're all kind of somewhere in the middle. And now that we know, and astrology is becoming more popular, and people are searching out higher consciousness information, it helps to know how these things work, how these planets, and they're sentient beings too. So say you're having a hard time communicating, have a talk with Mercury. Or say you're having a hard time with your rebirth, have a talk with Pluto. They seriously are right there. And I did that so many times. I would have talks with them and go into these like crazy meditations with each one. It is really cool. And they have been here since this solar system was created. And they're here to help us elevate and remember who we are. Wasn't that a good card, Maria? I thought so too. I mean, it is so cool. It is so cool. Everything. And when you pick a card or you're thinking of something and it's like exactly what you were thinking of, you can't make any of that up. It is just too cool to spirituality, the higher consciousness journey, the ascension journey, whatever you want to call it. Evolving, we're evolving, right? We're elevating. And here we are. Let's see. I will be back on Friday with Kaylee. Kaylee and I are Fearless Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern. I will be on with Sun Psychic Jean Friday afternoon at 1:30. I believe it is 1:30 in the afternoon. I'll simulcast from my channel, and after that, I have no idea. I'm so excited about the garden. I need to get focused on the more shows and doing my room. I need to decorate my room, which I have not done yet, but slow but steady. And hi, Jules, learning to listen. And another thing, tonight you can do a ceremony. You could do a release ceremony. Enhance the releasing of whatever it is that's going. And it's 28 degrees. Tomorrow's going to be 29. Keep that in mind. Those are critical degrees. They're very difficult sometimes. And, people like us, we like meditating and connecting psychically and stuff like that. So it's cool for us, right? But even still, keep that in mind tomorrow, the next 24, 48 hours, that we are at the very end of the zodiac, very end of the year, the very last degrees, end of winter, and then we're going to start spring. And it's going to be a powerful spring. All that Aries. But again, you want to use your discernment. You want to take your time, because that Mercury is just going to sit there with the North Node for about 5 days before, it really takes about 2 weeks for when a planet comes out of retrograde for it to start moving fast again. But Mercury in Pisces doesn't move fast anyway. It is all about that inner connection to your team, to spirit, listening to the hits that you get, the gut instinct, the psychic hits. Just keep that in mind this next 5-day period. And Kaylee and I on Friday are going to go into a lot of this same information, go into the spring equinox for this year. So I really love you all, and I'm sorry I did go over. You guys, I will see you Friday. If you come by and see Kaylee and I, or see me with Sun Psychic Jean, I really appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out with me. It is my honor and pleasure. I'm Valerie. This is the Illumination Portal. I always forget to say that. And please like, subscribe, and share if you would. And I will see you soon. Be safe out there, guys. Thank you so much.